Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Green Room. We've got a great show planned for you tonight, but first, this weekend, I got to harvest my first pink icicle tomato and some mocha swirl peppers. Check it out. It was an exciting weekend for me. I finally got to harvest my first pink icicle tomatoes, which I've been waiting for a while now. I've got a bunch of them growing, but only picked the ripe ones along with some fresh herbs for a sandwich. One of the tomatoes is ripe and ready, and the other one is just starting to ripen, and I'm trying to see what is the best time to pick the pink icicle tomato. I also harvested some fresh arugula, parsley, and basil from my grow tower. I've been working so hard in the garden that this was a nice reward, but that wasn't all. I also got to harvest some of my first mocha swirl peppers, which was really exciting. A sweet pepper, perfect for snacking, with beautiful variegations. And now it's time to enjoy the show.
All right. Welcome, all my enthusiasts, passionate plant people, to the Green Room here on the Let's Get Growing show on the Urban Gardener channel. And not only is it really awesome to have all of you here joining with us tonight, but let's also welcome our amazing co-host, the Fresh Princess. Let's welcome Natalie to the show. Hey, Natalie, how we doing today?
I'm good. Happy Monday, gardeners, and happy Monday, Enoch. How's it going?
It's going all right. Absolutely. I know it's a little different than some of the others, especially our guests here coming up on the show, but we're having like really some amazing weather here today. So I've been just really enjoying the day outside today. So it's been great.
That is awesome. Yeah, we've got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Joining us in the Green Room, we've got Jessica from Dream to Seed.
Yeah, as well as Chad from Down Home Backyard Gardening joining with us today, as well as we've got Katrina doing our Grow What You Eat segment coming up here in just a little bit here on the show.
Yeah,
And
I can't believe that.
yeah. Also, too, just to let you all know, we do also have our roll call coming up here in just a few minutes as well, too. So definitely jump into the chat if you're here with us. Let us know you're here. Let us know where you're growing from and what you got growing on in your garden.
Yeah, and also just at the top of the show, for any replay viewers that couldn't make it here for the live, thank you so much for taking time to watch, and let us know in the comments that you were here.
Yeah, definitely jump in there. Yep. And also, if you are here with us live, like I said, join the conversation, jump on in. And if you do have any questions for our guests coming up here just a little bit later on the show, definitely drop those into the chat as well, too, because we love to answer your questions. It's one of the fun things about doing a live show like this is you all get to be here with us live and join in on the conversation.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
That's right. I also want to remind you all, too, we are your 3-day gardening weekend here on the Let's Get Growing show. So definitely join with us on the weekends as well, too. We're here every Saturday and Sunday as well at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So right on. Again, so I see we're in a bit of a different location than what we normally see you, Natalie.
A cozier setting, if you will.
Right, a cozier setting. Yeah.
I need a break from the garden today, Enoch. It's been a long week, a long month, a long year.
A long year, all of that as well.
Yeah, in the garden, it's been one thing after the other, and I'm still in the investigative phases, but potentially have some pest problems in the tent.
Oh my,
and, yeah, it's just been a little bit of a tough evening. So I decided to step away from the garden because sometimes it's necessary,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And regroup and just enjoy the green room from The not so green room.
The not so right? Yeah, exactly. So, what's the deal down there? I mean, you say you got
Yeah,
some.
I'm not sure. I put up some sticky traps and potentially
Mm,
caught something today, put it under the scope, and
mm,
still not quite sure what it is. But yeah, I'm just trying to troubleshoot and investigate. And I don't know, we'll find out on tomorrow's live, I guess,
right,
what I
right.
have to do. I'll decide if it's something that's severe and I have to consider
The
removing
the most
plants or
awful
fixing it.
thing is tearing down and all of that, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I have to assess so that I can make a decision. And so right now I'm just assessing and investigating, and it is what it is. I'm not even keeping my fingers crossed at this point because it just, it's the name of the game when you're growing indoors. Sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. So how
Right,
about yourself?
right.
How's your garden prep going?
Oh, well, like I was mentioning last week, the list seems to grow more and more every day as I haven't been able to get out there. But like I mentioned too, is it's just been really wonderful out. So I did get out for a few hours this morning, and it's pulling weeds, clearing beds, getting certain things together, and really, you know, again, assessing what we can get started, what I'm going to have to, wait on, and all that sort of stuff too. So again, hopefully I'm going to be able to get my space together here real soon so that we can really get some of these plant starts. I've been working on starting tomatoes, peppers, different things like that as well too. So I got to get those garden beds and everything ready for them when it's time.
Absolutely. Do you have any fun varieties that you're going to be trying out this season?
No, well, I mean, there's some cool varieties that I've got. I'm going to try it again because we talked about. I'm not sure if it was here or in one of the other shows, but I talked to someone recently about pineapple tomatoes. So I'm hoping
Oh,
I got some seeds for that. So hopefully we'll get some of those growing this year. I really love those, and really kind of just using some seed that I've had before versus going out and finding new seed and all of that. And then I kind of also switched up my pepper plan for this year. Usually I'm growing tons of different varieties of peppers, could be sometimes upwards of 20 plus different varieties that I'll grow. But I'm actually was looking into last year as I was growing out some of my Sugar Rush peach variety that I've been kind of selectively breeding, if you will. They have
yeah,
a different type of a pod with a kind of an inverted end to them and everything. So
nice.
what I'm going to do this year is I'm just going to grow out a bunch of those and just kind of see if I can't really start isolating or getting some good seeds for those that I can start sharing down the road. So I'm going to really kind of work on that, see if I can't try to get those, and maybe throw a couple of other varieties in there too as well. But trying to grow mostly that one variety to play around with all of that.
Yeah, you should try to get your hands on the mocha swirl pepper. That one is a
Yeah,
showstopper for sure.
that's one of the ones that you just got to harvest, right?
Yeah, so some of them, because I was underfeeding at first, the peppers didn't reach their full size.
Yeah,
But a couple of them there did, and they were great. They were sweet, and yeah, they're really good.
yeah, excellent. I'll have to definitely maybe get you to send me some seeds or something to put those in the
Yeah,
garden.
absolutely. I would
I,
love to.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love trying all sorts. Like I said, all sorts of different peppers. It's one of my first real. I mean, I started with a cucumber, but when I got to peppers, that was just really when I was like, just my gardening experience really kind of took off because I just love all of the different aspects of peppers from the different varieties you can grow, sweet or hot, the different types
Yeah,
of pods and the cool looking pods that you can get.
I
And then as
should.
well, the plants themselves have all of these different characteristics, and some grow slower than others, some grow taller than others, some grow mass amounts of peppers versus other ones and stuff. So it's kind of always interesting to kind of see what you get with different varieties that you introduce to your garden.
Absolutely. I should share this gardener's profile that he's local to me, and he transformed his small backyard space into. He's got, I think, over 150 different pepper varieties. Each are in 5-gallon buckets, and they're pepper tree. It's pretty much like a pepper orchard, I would call it. They're pepper trees in his backyard, and he's got tons of different varieties, and yeah, they're
Wow.
beautiful. He does all kinds of different things with them, but he's trying to do the same thing, a little bit of breeding, and it's very cool what he's got growing on.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll have to check that out for sure. I
Yeah,
love checking out and seeing what other people are growing as far as that goes. But yeah, and as I've mentioned before too, I last year I just really didn't plant or do too much more with my garden as I would normally do. So this year's kind of like I'm trying to work my way up
right.
back and get a really full garden, grow a lot of the stuff that I was growing before last year and all of that. Get it back up to speed basically, and so hopefully we'll get things going. Like I said, things are piling up as far as things I need to get done. But I think with this week and the weather that we got, I'm going to be able to spend plenty of time out there and really get things put together. So I'm
Yeah.
really, really excited about that.
See, last Monday when we were doing the green room, it was 22 degrees Celsius where I was. I was in a t-shirt driving with the windows rolled down,
Right.
and today we've got snow again. So very different for us here in Canada.
Oh my, yeah. Again, it is that time of season though, right? Where things are just fluctuating so much. We can't
Yeah,
tell what one thing from the next is because we're gonna have this like what is like everybody's saying false springs. You get these false springs, right? Well,
yeah,
this week is like a false summer in a sense before spring even starts. And so, but after this comes and passes by, the temperatures will cool right back down again. And who knows, we can
yeah.
see a late snow still ourselves around here. And you just never know what you're going to get with the weather at this point in
You
time.
never know. You've always got to be on guard.
Yeah, but I feel for you that live in those more northern climates though, because wow, again, a shorter growing season when it comes down to it all together.
There are ways to maximize it, right? There are
Mhm.
different things that you can grow in different
Yeah.
temperatures, and so it's really about knowing what works where you
Mhm.
live, because you can always be growing if you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So as we get you out there in the outdoor garden more this year, we'll get you started up and learning towards fall and all that to extend your seasons out and be able to, you know,
Yeah,
uh, grow a little bit more outside throughout these colder parts of the year.
exactly.
Right on, right on. Excellent. Well, you know what? I think it's about time for us to see who we got joining with us today, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's
Do
go
it.
ahead and do this. It's time for roll call.
My name is Kevin. Yeah. That is my name. Yeah. They call me Kevin. Yeah. Because that's my name.
All right. It is roll call time. So for all of you who are here with us live and you didn't get the call earlier, but go ahead now if you can, go ahead and jump into the chat and let us know where you're growing from, what you got growing on, and all of that here. And of course, right at the top of our roll call, we gotta give a big, huge shout out to our facilitator and backstage producer, Jay the J-Bot, joining us from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, in the lee of Lake Huron.
Yes, fellow Ontarian.
That's right.
And we've got bow tie life in the garden. Bow tie, yeah, Florida. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Kind of rub it in for us Canadians that are cold over here. Welcome, bow tie.
I know. Although he says it just dropped below 50 degrees, so I guess that is a little cool for them right now. But it's for overnights, yeah. Wow. And then we also got with us Shawnee Grows, our other contributor for Grow What You Eat, joining with us from Minnesota. She says we
Yeah.
are warming up above zero now. Oh, that's great. How warm is that, right? Again, like I said, I feel for you northern climates.
Okay.
Winds have calmed down,
Spring's
interstates are
upon us.
reopening, but roads are icy, moved sparkly thick snow, and ate a lot of blizzard snacks. Yeah, she was just saying the other day too about getting prepared for all of this blizzard so they could be stuck at home
Yeah,
if need be, right?
for sure. And we've got Look to Nature Homestead. Good evening from the miserable Pennsylvania. I was like, did
Oh
I
man,
read
you
that
folks.
right? Oh my
I know
God.
I'm really starting to feel bad here over here, all
Vitamin
this
D. I
nice
think, you know
weather,
what?
man.
I think we're all missing the sun. Last week was the first time I saw the sun, so I feel your pain. Look to Nature.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for joining us.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could share some of this vitamin D over here. We got MKP in the chat. Awesome, awesome. Can't wait for another great show. Well, the wait is over. Here we are.
Yeah. And Dusty Flats. Hello, all you chatty people. What's up, Dusty Flats? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, yeah. And here we've got Katrina from Sow and Tare. We'll see her here in just a few minutes for our Grow What You Eat segment here, which says hello from Douglas County, Oregon, which is just a little bit north up from me here in Southern Oregon. She says, I hope everyone is doing well. We are in the 70s with plums and hawthorns blooming right now, and the bees are happy. So yeah, here's someone enjoying our weather, I know.
Yeah. Little bit envious, not gonna lie. What's up, Seed Addict? We've got Les in the house. Actually, Seed Addict is the one that sent me the seeds for the mocha swirl pepper.
Oh, right on, right on. We'll have to get, like I said, I got to get some of those. I got to try those in my pepper garden. Nope, nope, nope. Hello, it's great to have you here with us today. And Look to Nature says this will be a fantastic show. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got some great guests tonight. And one of our guests of honor, speaking of which, Down Home Backyard Gardening. We're excited to chat with you. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, yeah, as well. We got Croc Gardner in the chat as well, too. Looking forward to the show coming up here.
And oh my gosh, my eyesight is
Meg's Edible Landscapes. There we go.
Yeah, Meg's Edible Landscapes.
I know for me, I got to read almost halfway across the room over here too. So.
Yeah, I think it's just the StreamYard. You know what it is? I got a full screen. Yeah. That's my problem. There we go.
Yeah, right on, right on. And our other guest coming up here just a little bit here, Jessica from Dream to Seed, joining with us.
And we've got Kevin. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for hanging out.
Right on, right on. Thank you for being here, Kevin. We've got J57. Good evening. Good evening to you. Thank you for being here today. It's great to have you with us.
And Eddie. Somebody say hi, Eddie.
That's right. Someone say hi, Eddie. Joining us from North Alabama. Excellent. Oh, let's see here. Am I losing my place? I don't know. Here we got...
And Sky Overhead, the Princess Gang. Welcome. Good to see you, Sky Overhead.
Oh, I wonder where they're coming from.
Yeah, I guess they were at the noon live, and now they're here for the 8 p.m. show.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, Masetta joining with us. Great to have you here. Thanks for being here.
We got Dusty.
Did I already get that one on there? I'm thinking I'm losing my place here in my.
And Farmer Chaz, happy Monday, Chaz. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Great to have you here. We've got all these new names I'm getting to see here too. Brett Gardens joining with us. Gardeners grow on. Excellent.
What's up, EE? Good evening. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. And we've got Leviticus, Albrighticus. Good evening to you. So great to have you here with us, as well as
Janet McDonald. Hello, fellow gardeners from Central Texas, Zone 9A. 99 degrees Fahrenheit, down to 39. Wow.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, got some cold overnights, but some really, really hot days there for sure, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely a difference in temperature, that's for sure. A lot of fluctuations happening. It's the same thing here too. One day it's nice and fake spring. Or
fall spring, that's for sure. Right on, everybody. Well, let's go ahead and keep on moving along here today. As I mentioned, we've got Katrina joining us for our Grow What You Eat segment. So let's go ahead and get that started up.
Yeah.
I'm Katrina from Sow and Tare for this week's Grow What You Eat segment, and we are in the garden, kind of, it's right there, and we are going to be foraging some herbs that are popping up right now. We're gonna start off with dead nettle. Now this is what dead nettle looks like. And it's not going to kill you. It's good. It's tasty. It's good for you. And it's medicinal. So I'm going to collect this for some tea. We have some lemon balm down the way. And we're going to do some other things with this on my channel later. But we're going to have this tea while we make tzatziki sauce. So before we get anything started, I like to start with tea. So I have my mug. And most people realize that things like this is tea. It is. They might recognize something like this as tea. It is. You can also use dried and fresh herbs. This is some anise hyssop that I harvested at my old property. We have chocolate mint, spearmint, and I mean, there's tons of other things that I have for tea. In this case, I am going to be using fresh, and that is lemon balm and dead nettle. And these are really good to make tea. You can add whatever you want to it, but using fresh, it's always good. Now, when you make tea from fresh leaves, you want to cut it up or crinkle it. You want to make it so the oils go out of the leaf. When the leaves are already dried, that's going to happen automatically when you add hot water. So here's the dead nettle, and I'm just gonna crinkle it and put that in there. And we'll take some lemon balm and do the same thing. Now your hand's gonna smell wonderful. And just put it in there. You can use a strainer when you use it. You can put this in a teapot and then strain it out as well. I'm just gonna put it in here. Now, fresh herbs need to steep, which means stay in the hot water, longer than dried herbs to get the same amount of oils out. So we're gonna set this aside while we make our tzatziki sauce. Okay, I'm going to give you a general recipe and you can adjust things to your taste. This is something I want to instill in you guys, is confidence in the kitchen. So we have our base, which is plain Greek yogurt. And most of these containers are 4 cups. This is a shorty, so it's a little bit less, as you can estimate. That's going to be pretty close to 2 cups-ish. Now the main ingredients in tzatziki sauce are Greek yogurt, cucumber, mint, dill, garlic, and salt. Some lemon juice. And those are ingredients. It's March. I don't have cucumbers. Right now is the time to go out. If you have borage, borage is a really great plant to plant for bees. The bees love it. And if you have it right now, it should be coming up and you should have leaves about this big. I don't have it here yet because I haven't planted it here at my new place yet. But I did dry some and we are going to make a dried version. When cooking with herbs, and you have dried herbs and fresh herbs, this is something that's good to pay attention to, especially if you're growing your own stuff. Sometimes you have dried, sometimes you have fresh. You want to be able to make the recipe no matter what. And for that, we use a rule of 3. Now, what does that mean? It means when you have a herb and it has moisture in it, it is bigger. Okay? So if something calls for a fresh herb, so if this is borage. Let's say it's mint. Most things call for mint, not borage. Let's say you have a recipe, it calls for 1 tablespoon chopped fresh mint. 1 tablespoon chopped is going to be 1/3 for this. You're going to want 1/3 because this doesn't have the liquid part of that plant. So it's going to be reduced. If it calls for a tablespoon of dried herb, dried mint, and you have fresh, you use 3 times as much. So that is how herbs work, dry versus fresh. And you would just assume for most herbs, not true for all herbs, but for most herbs, it's the rule of 3. So borage tastes like cucumber. It can take the place of cucumber in any dips or anything like that. And I do use a vacuum sealer to seal it back up. And for borage, we're gonna do 2 level tablespoons. For the spearmint, we'll do 1 level tablespoon. Mint goes further than borage. And this is the vacuum sealer I use to vacuum seal it back up. Oh, it smells so good. Now, borage, you can use the flowers for, people use it in like ice cubes to make the ice cubes pretty. It's an edible flower. It tastes like cucumber. It smells so good. Oh, I forgot, dill is another ingredient. I love dill, so I might add more than you want. We're gonna go for probably about half a tablespoon. Maybe about half a tablespoon. You can always add more later. That's the thing to think about with these things, is you could always add more later. All right, for ease of use, garlic powder. You can chop up garlic if you want and put it in there. I'm just gonna add about that much. I should have measured it, sorry. And add a teaspoon of salt. I use the pink Himalayan salt. All right, we're gonna mix this together. Because we have dried herbs, that you're gonna wanna let this sit in the fridge for a couple hours. At my old place, I had a lemon tree, and man, do I miss that. So I'm gonna put, let's go 2 tablespoons. Sorry, teaspoons, 2 teaspoons. Now it looks like tzatziki sauce, so that's good. Doesn't have the chunks of cucumber, but that's okay. That is what it looks like. And these herbs will rehydrate a little bit in the refrigerator over the next couple hours. You want to put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours. Let's taste it to see if I need to add anything before that happens. You're not going to get the full flavor of the herbs right now because they're still hydrating into the yogurt. It's a little garlicky, but it tastes good to me. Yeah, that's good. I can start to taste the cucumber taste. Dill is in there for sure. Spearmint's in there. It could add a little bit more spearmint. Let's do that. Now I don't want to go crazy because remember the herbs are not fully hydrated yet. So I'm adding probably about a teaspoon more. And while this is sitting in the refrigerator, you can get out your pita bread or naan or whatever kind of bread you're using. I've even done this on a taco. I will be doing this with rabbit. You can make falafel. You can make all sorts of different things. So if you want a meat, if you want a veggie, you can use it as a dip. All right, we're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator. That's so good. And we'll be back in a couple hours. Make tea when you're making food. It makes the process better. All right, I have my meat on there. That's rabbit. You can do rabbit. You could do tofu. You could do whatever you want. You can do falafel. That's all those things are good choices. Let's see how it looks. Looks fabulous. Smells so good. Smells so good. So that is freshly made tzatziki sauce over rabbit and naan. So super good. You can buy naan. You can just use carrot sticks to eat this stuff. It's so good. So the naan is so warm. Let's try this. That's a really good recipe. I would go a little bit easier on the garlic, a little more heavy on the dill. So good. Good substitute for fresh ingredients, good substitute for cucumber. So, there's some substitutes for you. There's a really, really easy thing to make. Again, it's up to you to grow what you eat and eat what you grow. We encourage you here, and we will see you for another segment next week.
Ivory Organic was founded on the gardening concept of whitewashing, simply lightening your plants to better tolerate weather extremes, transplant shock, and so much more. Such a valuable gardening practice that farmers have been doing it since BC times. However, in recent years, most research has been caring for plants and trees using latex and tar-based products which are designed to last 100 years but fall off your plants within 1 to 2 years as your plants grow, contaminating your garden soil indefinitely. Ivy Organic gives organic commercial orchards and backyard growers an organic and healthier alternative. Also, unlike latex and tar-based products, Ivy Organic dries on porous, allowing moisture and nutrients to pass so that your coated surfaces such as grafting wounds and pruned branches will not rot. Ivy Organic has two general categories of whitewash products. The 3-in-1 Plant Guard, which includes 7 natural oils, including castor, cinnamon, clove, garlic, peppermint, rosemary, and spearmint, which offer insect and rodent repellent protection, and the whitewash oil-free formula. Both products also have diatomaceous earth in the base ingredients, which naturally offer some insect repellent protection too. As always, keep growing with Ivory Organics, and wishing you all happy gardening.
Why wait for the right season to start your garden when you can grow anything you want all year round? This is my indoor garden where I grow all of my own produce regardless of the season. Aeroponically grown food, pesticide-free, all organic. The mission is to inspire and educate others to do the same. Whether you're limited in space or not, an indoor garden can be your reality. Follow along as I explore all the ways to achieve a successful indoor garden. From aeroponic Dutch buckets to vertical grow towers, I experiment with all kinds of grow mediums and varieties. Let's learn and grow together and reclaim our food sovereignty.
Oh, here we are. There we are. Back at it.
The green room is empty.
This green room is empty. No one's here. No, here we are. Back at it here for the green room. And thanks to Katrina for I got to try some of that tzatziki sauce. It sounds really, really good. So thank you, Katrina, for your segment this week on the Grow What You Eat segment here.
For sure. I like the dried herbs idea. I want to start doing that because, got so many herbs growing.
Yeah. You got to dry them up. Always really good fresh, but you got to have those, like she shows, they come in handy for a backup, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And definitely everybody get down into the description below. You can go find Katrina's Sow and Terror channel down there and go and show her some support. I know she's got a live stream coming up here tonight as well too. So you want to go and check that out. I got link down below in the description for all of you there. Right on. Excellent. And real quick here, before we get moving on, I know our guests are waiting patiently here to get on the show with us, but let's find out a little bit about what we have growing on here on the Let's Get Growing show this weekend. If you didn't get a chance to join with us for our show this last Saturday, we had with us Christy Wilhelmy from the Garden Nerd. She came by to share with us about her new book coming out and everything. So you want to go back and check out that conversation, as well as meeting Sophia from One Arizona Garden. She was here for our Are You Following Me segment, and just a really great conversation with her. And and I don't know if you got to check out this book author Christy Wilhelmy wrote. It's called Garden Variety, and it's this really fun kind of fiction story all about gardening. There's gardening tips and everything, but it's centered around this community garden and all these just really fun characters and everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was in your book club.
We had that in the book club a little while back ago, and she came by this last Saturday to announce the I guess it would be a sequel to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she's got a whole new, this time around it's a murder mystery in the community garden. So what a fun way, we like showing
got harvested.
Right, exactly.
Not the murder you're thinking, maybe.
Exactly. And so really fun, really cool. Gardening books in our book club, we like looking at all sorts of different ones and everything, but how fun to have kind of a fun fiction story all about gardening. And she's really smart about putting in and peppering in all of these cool little gardening tips and things that come along with the story too.
Yeah,
so it's really great.
Adds value, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And then yesterday was the third Sunday of the month. And the third Sunday of the month, as we just mentioned, is our gardening book club. This is where we welcome our good friend Mark Roche Colbert to the show as our co-host. And we interviewed yesterday Gary Pilarczyk in his book, Growing an Edible Landscape, How to Transform your outdoor space into a food garden. Just a really great book, really great author. A lot of people if they watch a lot of gardening videos, are probably very familiar with Gary Pilarczyk, and really great to have him on the show with us yesterday to talk about that. And as well, too, if you come and hang out with us for our monthly gardening book club, and when we finish it up, we announce next month's gardening book as well. So next month's gardening book is going to be Grow Now by Emily Murphy. So you'll definitely want to check out our next gardening book club if you haven't had a chance to check out our gardening book club. Also, I'll mention, too, if you haven't seen our green room from last week as well, too. You might want to go back and check out the green room last week. We had a really fun conversation with Rebecca from Happy Heart Gardens and Josh, the plant techie. What a great fun show that was, right?
Right after the show, I went to go repot my lemon seedling, and I took Josh's advice. So thank you, Josh. And it was a great conversation. We always have great guests. Same, even on the weekend shows, always a jam-packed weekend with good guests.
Yeah. That's why you definitely want to be hitting that like button. You want to be hitting the subscribe button. You want to be hitting the bell notification. And while you're at it, share with all of your garden friends. Let them know about us here at the Let's Get Growing show and all these awesome guests that we get to hang out with every weekend here on your 3-day gardening weekend now. So how much fun is that? So thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for joining with us today. Also, I think it's about time for us to get started with our conversation this week here on the green. So, all right, let's welcome to the green room. First, let's drop in here, Chad. Down home, backyard gardening with us today, as well as we have back on the show with us too, Jessica from Dream to Seed here.
Great. Hello,
Jessica.
Hello.
So awesome to have you two with us here tonight on our new show, The Green Room here.
Yeah, thank you both for joining us.
I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So what we want to do here real quick here is give you each a chance, an opportunity to introduce yourselves to everybody. Let us know about what you've got growing on and your channels and all of that as well. And let's go ahead and start with Jessica. Please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica. My channel is From Dream to Seed. I'm a master gardener. I'm right on the border of zone 6B and 7A. I am a suburban gardener, and my channels focus mostly on education for beginner gardeners, but I do a lot of harvest videos and things like that too.
Oh, excellent.
Ditto to what she said.
Yep.
I'm Chad from Down Home Backyard Gardening, Zone 9A, Spring, Texas, just north of Houston. I kind of do the same thing that she just said. I like to focus on the beginner gardeners. I like to focus on thinking outside the box. If you read a rule, challenge that rule. Have fun with it. Gardening should be fun. Experiment. Don't get stuck in one way of doing something. Enjoy it. And when you fail, show it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I like to encourage, lift up, and support everybody. Period.
That's right. Excellent. Yeah, really great. And I love that. It's always good to support all those new gardeners. And I like what you say there too, is to challenge those rules, play around, do some things. But what you also do too, similar as I got started with my channel, is making sure that you're kind of taking people along with the downfalls as well too, because we all go through them, no matter how experienced we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
So, should we get into it, Enoch?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And we're gonna. I don't know if you all have checked out the show before, but we like to jump our guests right in here with what we call the lightning round. All right. So here with the lightning round.
We've got the lightning round. So it's just kind of a fun way to put you both in the hot seat. You'll each go one at a time. I've got 10 questions, and you'll have 60 seconds to answer all 10 questions. So first thing that comes to the top of your mind, one-word answers or whatever is the easiest, and just have fun with it. You guys,
all right.
You guys ready? Should we start with Jessica?
Let's
Sure.
see here. Let's see if
All
I
right.
got this right.
So,
There
Enoch,
we are. We got
I
it.
realized that I actually added some additional questions, which I didn't mean to. So I think you probably
Were
just
they?
went up to 10, right?
I think they're up to. I think that was right. I think you had it right.
Oh, did
And
I?
at least I had the right. We can double check here, but
All right, that's okay.
yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah.
I'll just read them off the screen. All right, cool.
All right. Excellent.
All right,
All
so when
right.
the timer goes, I'll just start firing away, and first thing that comes to mind, we'll just have some fun with it, and it helps the guests get to know you a little better.
Sure thing.
All right.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Ready.
Seed starting indoors or direct sowing? Pick one forever.
Ooh, seed starting indoors.
All right. One vegetable every beginner should grow first.
Oh, bush beans.
Nice. Most overrated garden trend right now?
Seed snails.
Oh.
All right. Compost tumbler or compost pile?
Compost pile.
Nice. Raised beds or in-ground gardening?
Raised beds.
If you could only grow one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Milkweed.
Mm-mm.
And what plant best represents your personality?
Ooh. Tomatoes.
Nice. Most difficult plant you've ever grown?
Climbing roses.
Most valuable lesson gardening has taught you?
Always start at the foundation, good soil for the win.
Oh, and last one, you made it by the time we got to the last one, so technically you got all 10. The one gardening tool you can't live without?
Oh, pruners. Or a hori knife, one of the two. Yeah.
Good job.
Excellent. Good work. Right on. And Chad's in the hot seat
Yeah,
now.
you're in the hot seat. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, let's see here. I gotta make sure I'm all set right there. You're all ready to go.
We're ready to
Timer
go.
starts.
All right. One crop every beginner should grow, or every backyard gardener should grow. Sorry.
Tomatoes.
All right. Raised beds or in-ground beds forever, or choose one forever.
Raised beds.
Compost first or fertilizer first?
Compost.
Most overrated gardening advice you've ever received?
There's only one way to do something.
Vegetable that gives the biggest payoff for effort?
Peppers.
Yeah.
Tool you reach for every single day?
Hori all the way.
Plant that humbles you every season?
Washing zucchini because of those stupid bugs.
Biggest beginner mistake you see?
Starting too big, too fast, and not ready for all that.
Early spring excitement or fall harvest satisfaction?
Oh man, spring.
If you could only grow one vegetable for a year, what is it?
Peppers. I love growing peppers. They're a challenge. They're fun. You can do so much with them. Peppers.
Yes, indeed. I completely agree with you. Peppers are the way to go, right?
All right, great job. You guys both completed all
did
10
it. All right.
questions in the nick of time. So great
Got
job.
it.
I might regret that seed snail comment. I literally just did a video. I don't know. It's one of these things where I'm like, is it the right now or is this like a forever? I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see, but we've talked about it on previous episodes. It is pretty popular, so
It's effective. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a back to basics person.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, really quick, I've got to ask you. You said tomato best represents your personality, Jessica. How so?
I would say can be a little difficult, but overall, it's like I get along. I feel like I'm. I can get along with a lot of people. A lot of people like to grow tomatoes. I don't know. Honestly, I just said tomato. I don't know.
We put you on the spot. Right?
I started to say onion, but I'm like, no, I don't want to say that.
Many layers.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, exactly. That's great.
It's
And
different than over here. It's easy when you're over there in that chat box, that chat room. But man, getting those thrown at you, that was fun. I like that.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
is.
isn't that
You know what? It actually helps everyone get to know you quickly, and it's actually sometimes maybe you surprise yourself with the answer, right? Like the tomato.
The seed snails, right. Tell us, Chad, what is it that you like most about growing peppers?
Just the challenge and the variety. There's just so many different types.
Yeah.
You can go sweet, you can go hot, you can go super hot. It's like Bowtie and all his crazy Dorset Nagas. There's just so much to it. And like we said earlier, the colors, the shapes, the bumps, the spikes, the tails, just everything. They're just fun and they're challenging.
Do you eat spicy peppers, and do you train like Bowtie does?
Not a chance. I can get to about 100, 150 Scovilles, and then I'm about done.
Oh, okay.
So less than a habanero.
So sweet peppers is probably more so what you grow?
No, I grow all the hot ones because I give about 90+% of my stuff away.
Nice.
People that need it. So I grow to have fun. I grow to challenge myself, to teach, to show that it's a journey. I always call it a journey because it's never going to end. You're always going to be learning something or trying something or educating someone or lifting people up that need that little boost, because we all know beginner gardeners, you go out there with these huge dreams and then stupid squash vine borers show up and ruin everything. So
yeah,
you need to be uplifted.
So you deal with those vine borers too, Jessica. That's one thing I have to deal with squash bugs. You know, the leaf-footed squash bugs, and deal with those. They're just horrendous. I'm so fortunate though, because I hear everybody talk about how much worse those vine borers are.
Oh, they're terrible.
I do. I found ways around them with zucchini. Pumpkins are usually, I actually did grow pumpkins on accident last year. They were volunteers, and for whatever reason, they left them alone. But I do deal with them. My biggest pest right now are cucumber beetles, because they are transmitting bacterial wilt. So I have not been able to really grow any kind of cucurbits like cucumbers, melons well for several years now.
Wow. So you had pumpkin voluntarily growing? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a compost thing, and then I spread it out. And normally, like I said, I can grow mini pumpkins because they mature pretty quickly, but any kind of larger pumpkins, squash vine borers just get to. And I've tried planting at different times of the year, but for whatever reason, it was a volunteer. It was a decorative pumpkin that I bought, and for whatever reason, they left it alone. So I had about 10 pumpkins. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love the volunteers. You know, when they come up, it's probably one of the best things that I'm out here as far behind in my gardening as I am right now. I'm hoping for lots this year. Come on, pop up everything for sure. I just want to point out here too.
Marigolds all the time.
Look to Nature says, "What? I love the seed snail."
I know. I'm so sorry if you love it. I think it's like it's very niche. I think it's really good for people that are low on space for sure. I'm just leery with things where you have to disturb roots, and that's one where you have to kind of pull out. So that's one for me that I'm like, I think it's great for a lot of plants. It's not going to be a great fit for every plant, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, if it works for you, or it's very, I guess, a specific intended purpose, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about gardening. It's you can kind of take different approaches based on what you're trying to achieve. So, I mean, both of you kind of share that in common, where you kind of focus your education to beginner gardeners. So tell us a little bit about how you got started with that. We'll start with you, Chad. How did you get started kind of going that route of teaching beginners and trying to inspire and motivate?
So I started on YouTube because of the single seed challenge that Scott had on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening throughout in 2020. I got into gardening in 2021. I started my channel 5 years ago next month, and Jessica, you started your channel, if I'm not mistaken, 5 years ago last month, if I read that right.
You probably know more than I do, honestly, but that sounds right. Yeah.
I did my research. I'm not gonna lie. I want to make sure I was ready for this. But he threw out that challenge. I was like, man, I can do this. It's just, showing the life cycle of a seed, but that life cycle turned into this passion that now I'm hooked for life. And I thought, why not start a channel and showing everybody everything that I do wrong and right. throughout the journey of gardening. And that's just where I started, was literally from watching that video. That one time I got hooked, and now Scott has passed the single seed challenge to me to run with. So a lot of pressure there.
Yeah,
But
it's almost like
I'm
a
excited.
seed was planted, no pun intended.
Absolutely. And right
That's
here.
right.
That's awesome. Good for you. That's, it's a wonderful thing to do that for the community. There's a lot of people that don't know how to approach gardening or that are intimidated. And it's really nice to be able to come to places like YouTube and find people like yourself or you, Jessica, where, it's a safe space to learn. So what about yourself, Jessica? How'd you get started?
I've been backyard gardening for about 15 years. I guess I come from a family that has had vegetable gardens and things. I got into it, something to do with my kids outdoors, but then it became kind of like my thing. And I've always been a big science nerd. So I love the science behind gardening. In 2020, I was certifying as a master gardener. That's something I've always wanted to do. I still love doing it. I teach classes in my community. I'm on committees that do seed saving teams and pollinator committees, and we do community events. And about that same time is when COVID hit, and there was a lot of concerns about food and things like that. And I had so many people asking me, okay, I know you garden. Can you tell me everything you know? So I decided originally I was just going to create a beginner gardener series on YouTube, and that was going to be it. I had no interest in continuing, and I was just going to share that with people. But then I don't know, it just sort of like snowballed from there. And I just had a lot of good response and found that I felt like, I agree with Chad, there's a space where I was seeing a lot of gardeners who had these huge gardens or had been doing it for years. But I felt like for the beginner, sometimes we as gardeners use these words that are common to us, but not common to beginners. So I wanted to really focus the channel on breaking it down for a beginner gardener so that they would have more confidence. And same as Chad, just to share that, even somebody who's been gardening for a long time, stuff fails every year. Yeah. It fails, and that's okay. Yeah. That's part of the joy of gardening, is you always learn something from it.
Yeah, embrace those failures as learning opportunities. They're bound to happen from your first garden to your last garden. It's just, it's just something we've got to live with. Nature just has its way, and sometimes it fights against us no matter what we try, right?
Oh, it's humbling.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's see. Big Will Dog was in the chat here asking, Chad, how important was creating the Coast to Coast collab, and how has it changed over time? Now, this is something, again, I was really love about your channel and everything, and why I've wanted to have you on here for a while is doing these sort of collaborations. It's something I've loved doing for the years I've been on doing my channel and everything too. But tell us a little bit about how you got started with that, the idea, and tell us about some of these really awesome gardeners you get joining with you doing these collaborations.
No stress here. All right. So I'm either thinking a lot when I'm driving or I'm in the shower. Just going to keep it real. And I was standing there and I was like, you know what? I think it would be fun to see if a couple of my YouTube buds would want to get in on some sort of a collaboration, maybe once a month, because we had people from different parts of the country. Mm-hmm. So I thought, hey, if we could do something where it's coast to coast, we can get people in all these different zones all across the country. And we have Amy from the Hobby Homestead as our Canadian ambassador now. Y'all had her on.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun to do that. So we had to figure it out. Had to figure out how to get everybody's clips. We got to keep it to a certain amount of time because there's 12 of us now. We started with, I think, 6.
Wow.
But we did, I think, every zone. We're all the way from Massachusetts down to Florida to California to Indiana to Illinois to Oregon. I mean, Arizona, me, Louisiana, we're everywhere. So it's fun for one video a month. They send me the clips and I do the editing, and sometimes we clown each other because, I mean, hey, we gotta have fun.
Yeah.
And Big Will Dog gets a lot of the clowning because you bring it on yourself, brother. It's just fun, to see what someone's dealing with up in Cape Cod and in Southern California and up there in Ontario. you know, it's just cool to see that at this time of the month, we're all dealing with different things, but we're all doing the same thing. We got passion, we're having fun, we're teaching, we're showing. And it was another way to help us push ourselves out there while helping each other and helping our communities and our zones. So I thought, who's in for it? And you know, we've grown. I think we're on our 20th month or 19th month of doing
Wow,
this.
yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
And, it's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just, and
yeah, I think it's just
we've
really
become a
wonderful.
family. We become a family. We have, you know, we'll be bored. We'll be like, hey, who wants to Zoom or StreamYard or chat or whatever? And we'll, you know, it's just fun. And we're learning stuff and bouncing ideas off each other. And it's just cool. So yeah,
From community to family. I love that. That's really awesome. Yeah, it's really great. And it's just something I really like about it. Like you said, you're showing all of these, you know, you're all dealing with the same things at the same time in all of these different places, which I think is really great because, you know, people can really, you know, see what, you know, is going on with a garden near them or something as well too, because you got so many different people from so many different places. And
it brings the community together.
I'm gonna definitely have to have you hook me up with Brian too someday, man. There's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite gardeners for sure.
He kept me gardening. We're talking about beginner. I don't want to take over the show, but we're talking about beginner gardeners, and I almost gave up.
Yeah.
And 10 months in, I was dealing with a bunch of stuff, and he talked me off the ledge, and thank God. And now him and I are like, I consider him straight up family. Been out there to meet him. He's been out this way. Everyone in the coast to coast is my family. I've said that numerous times. A lot of them have been here in the house, in the backyard. And we're about to do a little coast to coast Baker Creek.
Wow, that's awesome.
Travel here in May.
Yeah, which one are you going in the May one?
The May one, yep. So,
excellent.
Anyway, I don't want to take over the show. Jessica,
no, that's all right.
No, that's what it's all about. Just open discussion, right? But yeah, it's a wonderful thing bringing the community together. And I know, Jessica, you've also built quite the community yourself. So what's the most rewarding part for you, whether it's as a master gardener or as a YouTube creator? What's the most rewarding part in terms of gardening and community for you?
I dearly love being on social media. I love the comments and the thing when people are like, oh my gosh, you said this tip and and now I can grow whatever it is. But I do really love being a master gardener. It's because I get face-to-face time with people. And they'll be probably because the algorithm pushes that kind of content for people who love gardening. But sometimes when we have these big major community events, I'll see people and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I watch your videos. I didn't even know you lived around here. And then we'll have this discussion, and it's really, really, it's really cool to make connections. And I think Gardening World is just such a supportive community.
Mm-hmm.
We love to share, we love to support one another. It's when there's so much not nice things out on social media, 99.9% of the time, Gardening World is just a great place to be.
Yes, indeed. I totally agree. That's why I love doing this show so much, is getting to see and meet and talk with all of you folks throughout the whole gardening community. It just really is. It makes for a really, really great time for sure. And I'll just mention to everybody too, as well, real quick here, if anybody's wondering, Jessica's dealing with a lot of high winds and crazy things going on. So we're really lucky to have her here right now, because who knows, she might be dropping out or something. But just in case anybody's wondering there.
Yeah, I guess it's just, I can hear also we're having high winds here. I think it's just something passing through.
You poor folks having to deal with this crazy weather over there. Like I said at the beginning, I feel kind of bad, with all the nice, wonderful, awesome weather we're having over here in Southern Oregon, and you guys are dealing with storms and all of this crazy stuff.
It's character building.
That's right.
It makes us extra appreciative of our outdoor garden, I guess.
That's right. We got David Bowtie Life in the Garden asking both of you guys here, what is one gardening skill that takes time to learn?
Good question.
Jessica, what's a gardening skill that takes time to learn?
I think seed starting indoors. It's one that's once you get the hang of it, it's you can save so much money by buying from seeds and starting your own plants. But it's a little bit different for everyone just based on the conditions of where you live. It's going to be different for everyone just based on the setup you have. So you and what mix you're using and what you're wanting to grow, the temperatures in your home. So I can tell people basics, but you really have to tailor it to your situation. But it's one, it took me a couple of years to really get the hang of it. But now that I know, it's invaluable.
There's still some I don't have a hang of yet. So I'm telling you, it goes with, failures or these sort of things that continue to happen to us. There's some things that we're still trying to figure out years and years later.
Yeah.
How about for you, Chad? What do you think is a
So you're going to say
one
gardening
garden skill?
But anyone that knows me knows what I'm about to say, and it's patience. You've got to master your patience. You cannot think that you're going to plant a seed, you're going to grow something that's going to feed the world. You got to take your time. You got to learn. And, okay, we're talking peppers, right? Some of them take 25 days to germinate. So when you're sitting there stressing out because your tomatoes are this big and you planted them at the same time, patience. To me is the most important thing with gardening. And then everything else comes once you can just step back, relax, slow down, and understand that the plant is on its time. It's not on your time. It's on its time.
And it's continuously tested too throughout your gardening journey. So, I guess that's a good segue. What's one good example from both of you, I guess, where your patience has seriously been tested recently in your garden? I guess we'll start with you, Jessica.
Probably with those cucumber beetles because it's so, I agree with Chad, in the Mother Nature comment, I know in theory how to grow these things. I know how to get them to grow. I know what soil they need. I know what light conditions they need. And Mother Nature's just kind of fighting me right now. So I've learned that, I can, because I organic garden, I'm not willing to do certain things. So I have to say, okay, well, what can I do? And even if that means just taking a step back and not growing these things for a few years and kind of breaking that pest cycle, that's okay. And it's okay for me to not grow those things in my garden for a few years. It's okay to accept that this is happening now. It's okay for me to explore maybe other options with companion planting or, or different varieties that might be more resistant to it. So I take this as a learning opportunity for me to stretch and to realize that I can still continue to learn things every single year.
That's such an inspiring attitude. I love that.
Thanks.
What about yourself, Chad?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
What's something that what's a moment or something where your patience has been seriously tested recently in the garden?
Oh man. Patience. Everything is patience. Right now, I've got everything planted. I've got over 50 tomatoes out there, all from seed. I got peppers, beans. Everything is planted, and it's dropping. It never gets that cold this time of year. We're 2 weeks past my last expected frost date. So tonight is definitely patience. I'm praying that when I wake up,
everything will be okay, huh?
We'll see. But Brian, another coast to coaster, next level
gardening.
So,
yeah.
Welcome in. So there you go.
Yeah, great to have you here with us today. Thank you so much for being here. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks to everyone hanging out with us.
Yeah, I also, when it comes to patience too, sometimes there's plants you just don't think that they're doing very well, and you're just kind of watching it, and you get to the point where you're you almost want to just pull it out because you're just about done. You don't think it's going to do anything. And I've had so many of these types of plants where it's you know what, I'm just going to let it go. Let's see what happens. And then it ends up doing just really great. We get some really great fruits and all that sort of stuff off of them, and all of that too. So sometimes we got to just kind of, keep hope alive for some of our plants out there, because some of them are just taking their time.
There's a fine line though. Sometimes, I keep things a little longer than I should sometimes, just because I have delusional hope for my plants.
Yeah, my favorite's when you spend weeks or months babying a seedling and you plant it, and then this happened last year, you get a volunteer that pops up and it ends up being the best plant in your garden. And I'm I'm grateful, but also I'm really? If only they could all be that way.
less is more, I guess, right? When you
Yeah.
stop paying attention, then all of a sudden it thrives.
Yeah. Look to Nature Homestead asks, what plant is your Achilles heel? How many failures would make you consider an alternative plant? Do you like something that gives you problems? I'll tell you, for me, it's taken me years, or did take me years really to start growing a good broccoli. Brassicas kind of gave me a hard time at first when it comes to seed starting and learning and those sort of things as well. But it was one of those ones that I don't know how many times I failed because I was never going to give up. Yeah. How do you feel about that, Jessica?
I said it during the lightning round. Mine is climbing roses, which is so ironic because it's like one of those plants where people are like, really? I don't do anything to mine. And it grows. And I'm like, I know. I don't know why. I've tried many different places in my garden. I've tried many varieties. I've tried good soil. I've tried bad soil. I've tried taking care of it. I've tried ignoring it. And either they just don't do well. I live in a really high humidity area, so we get a lot of issues with fungal disease. And then one year they actually grew and they were blooming and a mole tunneled under and just completely took them out. No. So I finally just said, you know what? This is not a plant that I have to have. There are so many beautiful native vining plants I could be growing. Yeah. I'm just going to call it a loss. And I have rose bushes, but climbing roses, at least for now, I've cut ties. I've washed my hands of them.
That's a part of it too, right? Is patience, but also acceptance. Accepting sometimes that certain things are just maybe not meant to be in your garden, or at least not right now, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
How
about you, Chad? What is anything you've given up on?
I always say I'm not planting squash or zucchini in the spring because of that demonic red little moth. But oh, I hate that thing so much. But I'm not giving up. You try to get different varieties, like the Rampicati zucchini is pest resistant to a point. They grow really good here. But it said substitute, I think. So Bowtie told me, hey, you should grow loofah. I was like, I saw his loofah where it covered his backyard.
Oh my, wasn't monster.
I stood in that backyard. Yo, his loofah jungle was nuts, but I kept it really contained last year, and you can eat small loofahs like squash or zucchini.
Yeah.
And they do not get hit by the vine borers because they're not they're not hollow. The plants aren't hollow, so they have nowhere to go.
Okay, Chad, do you want something to try? This is the only thing that's worked for me. I grow usually like a bush style zucchini, so it doesn't get quite as big, but I think this would work with other varieties too. So I grow them vertically in a tomato trellis, and I prune off those lower leaf sets. And then it's like stretchy medical bandage. It's like adhesive bandage. You can get it in all different kinds of colors. And I wrap that stem as it's going. And I wrap it and I wrap it and I wrap it. And as long as I stay on top of wrapping that stem, 80% of the time, it keeps out squash vine borers. They don't like it. They don't, and it's the combination of the two. I saw those two separate tips, and I just did them both. Every once in a while, they'll get in through the stems on the leaves, but it has been the only way that I've been able to get zucchini the last couple of years. So I don't know if it'll work. Just something to try.
Thank you for sharing that.
I'm always up for anything.
Yeah, exactly. When you get desperate enough, you're gonna try anything when it comes down to it, right? Help.
Now if somebody could just tell me how to grow cucumbers to keep the cucumber beetles off.
Oh my.
I get them a lot out here too, and
it's not even
looking to give them a loving embrace.
It's not even for me that, because they cause damage to the flowers and things. The problem that I get with the ones is they transmit bacterial wilt. So even if I miss one, they will transmit disease, and it just wipes out the plant. So every single time.
It's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Right on. Let's jump in. Let's see if we got another question here. Nope. Was asking just a little bit ago. I have a Serrano baby that's 6 inches tall. It's 80 degrees in Vegas, but why is the Serrano wilty, but the jalapenos are fine? It's in the same soil, all the pots. Maybe put it in the shade. Yeah, if it's out in the full sun, I think that's probably
it's
probably
a
good
plant.
idea. Yeah,
Water it
definitely.
really good and throw it in the shade.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, you know, that's
a lot.
Yeah, yeah, because even peppers, you know, tomatoes, you know, these plants, you know, that are really heat-loving plants, there's a point when they just have a little, it's just a little bit too much sun for them, because that direct sun can really, really, and especially with a small plant like that.
Yeah, and I would always, whenever I get wilty plants, like the first thing I want to think about is the roots. So, you know, sometimes you just get plants that the roots aren't as healthy, or I'm not super familiar with serrano peppers, so I don't know if they're just a little bit more finicky in certain types of soil. You'll have different varieties of plants that will do completely different, even in the same soil. So it could be that the roots just aren't developed yet, so they're not able to withstand that heat. It could just be that it's a pickier variety.
And I see Robin, who knows lots about varieties. He says, try the Socrates F1 cucumbers.
That may have been one I ordered this year. It's ringing a bell, but I will try. Thank you. There are very, very few cucumber varieties that are resistant to bacterial wilt. It's really hard to find them, and they're not cheap. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know powdery mildew and other mildews are common with cucumbers. Those are the issues I've experienced. But over here, I mean, I have a flower garden outdoors in soil. And the main problem I have are Japanese beetles, and they just eat all the foliage, and there's nothing I can really do about them. I just flick them off one by one. Because I try not to spray anything on my garden, right? So
yeah, I have a bucket of soapy water, and I go out in the morning and I just then
Yep. I have for my squash bugs though too. You ever try like using like a little shop vac and go around and like and suck them all up, right?
Yeah, I've seen people do that. Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
That's a good idea.
I always go out with an idea of what I'm going to do. Like, it's time to go water. Next thing I know, the water's been sitting over there on like one thing, and I have completely gone from leaf-footed bugs to squash bugs to chasing that moth to finding the eggs. It's like, oh, and then there's an army worm. Like, yeah.
That's the life of the garden, though. Yeah. You get lost, right? I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then 5 days later, you're nowhere to be found. Yeah. You tripped and fell and got lost in the garden.
I'm actually happy the time changed, because I needed that extra hour to be right out there.
Right?
Exactly.
And I still stay up the extra hour as well, just to get an extra couple of hours.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I was asking again too, how to keep ants off my beautiful lemon tree. Trying moving it, spraying them. Let's see. I don't have aphids.
That's good.
Yeah. So ants. So they're not bringing. Oh, I see. They're not bringing the aphids up onto the tree. You don't notice them aphid farming or whatever. So you got a variety that's not doing that sort of thing. And ants could be such a pest.
I would ask first, are they doing damage? Because sometimes like I get ants all over like my peony plants and even in my cucumber. A lot of times they're looking for water. If they're trying to get into the flowers and things like that, a lot of times they're looking for water. And yes, they can absolutely. They have that what is that called? That beneficial relationship with aphids. But But just because you see a pest doesn't always mean that it's the one causing damage, and it doesn't mean that it's doing damage. So now I don't know what type of ants they are, if there's something that's like biting you or they are causing damage. But that's what I would ask first. Like, is it just an aesthetic problem, or are they actually causing damage to the plant?
Right.
Yeah.
I usually leave them alone. Unless they're affecting something like a sweet potato that I need to harvest, I usually leave them alone. They always find my feet because I'm always in flip-flops, but whatever. It's just part of garden. You got to get bit every now and then.
Yeah, I think you're right though too, is that it's just really, and ants are just annoying. There's so many of them. They can get all over the place and everything. And unless really, I think, as you said, they're causing some sort of damage, or again, if they're these aphid farming type of ants where they're, where they're bringing a worse pest to your plant that's going to be causing problems, then it's probably not an issue that you're really going to have to worry about too much.
I always get that on my okra, always. And
Oh, yeah.
Nature fascinates me. It's like that's just amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I've watched them push ladybugs away to keep the doggone stinking aphids alone. It just nature's wild.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see here. How are we've talked about what is really something you've got that you're really looking forward to coming up for this upcoming growing season? That is there anything new you've got coming up in your gardens for this year? Something you haven't tried or anything like that, Jessica?
Yeah, I try to grow some new things every year. I'm growing new varieties of things, but I'm trying to think if there's something just brand new that I've never. Oh, celery. I have never grown celery ever. It's not something.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh.
Our springs and falls are really short, so it's difficult sometimes for me to grow things that need to be grown in those cool seasons. I can get away with it a little bit by using frost blankets early on or shade cloth. But I don't know. It's not a vegetable that I flock to a lot, that I think to eat a lot, but I always, inevitably I'll get a question. So I always try to grow things even if I don't eat them. Same thing like you, Chad, with the spicy peppers. I do eat spicy peppers, but for mine it's eggplant. I don't eat eggplant, but I grow it so that I can tell people how to grow eggplant, and now it's celery. But I'm also growing, speaking of the cucumber beetles, I'm growing Armenian cucumbers this year, which are, I think, technically a melon. And so I'm just seeing if maybe this will help me on that cucumber beetle front. So I'm excited for those.
I know they're very prolific. I tried them last year and they did really, really well. But I had them for a short time because they got downy mildew, which is, I think, a common thing among cucumbers. So yeah. What are some challenges or roadblocks that you've experienced in the garden that you feel have been kind of challenging to make more digestible to explain to beginner gardeners? Like, is there anything you've experienced in your garden that you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to break this down and explain it to beginner gardeners, where to start, how to prevent something more?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's like
tough one.
Companion planting has been like a hot topic for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And the thing is I'm not saying because I'm a master gardener, so much of what I have to do has to be science-based. Yes, that's a great one. Another great one, here's a plug for your book thing too. Plant Partners by Jessica Walliser is absolutely phenomenal. It is a science-based companion planting book. So there's the studies to back it up in the back of the book. Excellent book. For me to recommend on my channel companion planting, it needs to be science-backed. It doesn't mean that these other things aren't true. It just means that they haven't been studied yet. And I want to make sure this is going to be accessible and applicable to all gardeners. So I've been breaking down companion planting a lot. I'm like, let's talk about the whys behind companion planting. Like, whether it's to attract beneficial insects, whether it's to try to repel some things, whether it's because you're planting things that have maybe compatible or complementary growth habits, like binding things under vertically grown things. My favorite right now, I'm a science nerd. And so there's this really cool theory called the appropriate inappropriate landing theory that talks about why pests choose to lay eggs on certain plants. And it's involved. But so trying to find, for me, I love the science of it. I do deep dives into the science and I want to share it, but trying to find ways, not that everyone can't understand it, but saying it in a way that's going to be interesting for someone to hear.
Right. Especially for beginners too, because there are certain maybe terminologies or certain things that, maybe aren't so digestible to someone who's new. So that's a good answer. Thank you.
I think that's a great answer because I put a short out today on companion planting with tomatoes. Just a real quick. I don't do My style is very just, hey, we're in the backyard. I got a camera and I'm talking. I can't think to do all the different angles and all the other stuff that a lot of people do. I just keep it very down home, very relaxed, very chill. It's like I'm talking to y'all right now or my best friend in the backyard. And I think companion planning is great. In fact, that book that I just showed was how I met Brian. I sent him a text, Instagram message one night, 15 minutes go by, he responds. I'm like, holy crap. And we've been friends ever since, you know? So that book that I showed, very easy to read, like what you were just saying. There's not a bunch of crazy words that you can't understand or read it. I use it. I mean, it's literally beside me. I always have that thing, and I've had it since it came out. I use it in the garden all the time because I can't remember everything. There's so much to everything. It's like, what do we plant next to beans? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we'll have to get that. We'll have to get that one on our book club someday.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. That sounds like a great topic.
But yeah, companion planning is a good one. Yeah, I agree. Because then people are like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, it works. Plant basil. I'm telling you, it'll keep the hornworm away.
Well, I think it's just because there's so much conflicting information. Like if you look up companion planting charts, it'll be like, brassicas hate this and carrots hate this. And I'm like, but why? Like what's the science behind that? You know, so I need to know, I need the why behind it. So yeah.
You need it to make sense.
I like to practice.
That's
like,
right.
I like to throw stuff out there and have fun and try it.
Yeah,
Right? Like you said, basil will keep the hawk moth away, right? I'm like, okay, let's test this. I've got a trellis out here. I can put 34 indeterminate plants.
Yeah.
I surround it with basil because of Scott's cinder block thing. I used the holes for the basil. And then 20 feet away, I had 3 little tiny plants with no basil around. Which one got the hornworm?
Yeah.
The one without any basil. So they found the 3 little plants, like 35 or 33 huge plants.
Yeah. I'm sold on that one too. I'm sold on that one too.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. So either of you grown Brussels sprouts?
I have.
Yeah,
I don't anymore.
No. Oh, yeah. So Frank's asking, I just threw the seeds in the ground one year. Is there a better way?
It depends on where you live, Frank. Brussels sprouts are an extremely long growing plant, and they do better when you're growing them during extremely long cool season, which not everyone has. So I grew them in the fall one year, and I had to plant them in like beginning of July. And so in order to get them to be mature by the time those frosts set in. And so like all brassicas, they attract just about every pest in the garden. Luckily, you can cover them. But they didn't like that heat. So I definitely would start them indoors and get them as a transplant. And then you just have to live in a place where they're going to have that long, cool growing season. They take a long time to grow.
Yeah. The only time I've really ever had success with them is getting them started like earlier, even before summer starts. And protect them. You just got to be on top of them, and you got to protect them from everything, from aphids to whitefly to the heat to all that sort of stuff. And you get them through that summer, and then the cool season comes around, and then that's, like I said, it's the only time I've had success. And then by time it's snowing in the wintertime, you've got nice little fat Brussels sprouts coming down the stalk and everything. And so, but it's not easy. It's probably, again, too, as far as brassicas, again, they always challenge me, but Brussels sprouts are going to challenge everybody.
Yeah.
Cabbage is the only brassica I can grow out here. Nothing else. Lettuce, but nothing else. I'm done trying.
Speaking of climate, what's something you both wish you could grow, but you can't because your climate doesn't permit, but something you can grow if you could grow anywhere? What would it be? We'll start with you, Chad.
Oh, man. Man, that's a good question. I can grow just something that I want to grow that I can't grow.
Yeah.
I don't care about brassicas. That's not my thing. Man, I don't know. I can grow a lot out here. Okay, onions. Onions kill me.
All right.
I can grow garlic, and I will win, Big Will. I will win the challenge.
There you go. That's right.
You're not winning. But onions are my.
Just wait till I get in that competition.
There you go.
Yeah, garlic, man. I
Six.
love growing some garlic.
Yeah.
So what's your challenge with onion? Is it just, I guess, the climate doesn't permit? Is it?
I don't know if I just keep getting the wrong ones, but you think okay, so I'm in Texas. You think I get the Texas, oh man, what is it?
So is it a long, you doing like a long days
Is it
down there, right?
You should be
It's
short
literally
day.
called
Short day, yeah.
Texas or something.
I always
don't
get that
know.
opposite.
A grano, Texas grano onion.
Yeah,
It says Texas
okay.
in it. You think I could grow it here? Yo, I can't grow onions. I'm trying. I bought some from Haas. They're growing really good.
Yeah.
But from seed, forget about it. I can't.
No.
Are you growing from like sets, or are you getting like seedlings?
Well, I've tried seedlings for 5 years, or seeds for 5 years. I'm done with that. So I
Yeah.
got some from Haas, and they're doing really, really good out there. So I'm babying them. I'm fertilizing. I'm hoping I could finally have an onion harvest video, because I could grow carrots where some people can't grow carrots. I throw carrots out there. I'm harvesting carrots. I can grow them. But
Onions are my absolute favorite. And again, it could possibly be,
yeah.
It could possibly be a climate thing too. I tell people all the time, number one, like you got to make sure you're growing the right type of onion for where you live. Yep. Number two, people can absolutely grow onions successfully from sets, which are like that look like the little baby onions. Because onions are biennial. So technically, botanically speaking, those are second year onions. So they want to flower, which is what they want to do. They won't always. And if they were stored right, and if they were harvested at the right time, they can. Onions are, I think a lot of problems that people have, they'll say, well, my onions are growing, they're just not getting very big. And I say, a lot of it is timing of planting. That is huge, because onions rely so much on hours of daylight. So you have to get them in the ground. Onions are one of the first seeds I start. I start them like mid-January, and they're one of the first things that I plant out, like mid to late March, and I do it under row cover to even give them some extra time. You want to get those green tops as big as possible before those daylight hours get long enough for them to signal to start bulbing, because the more green they have on top, the bigger those bulbs are going to be. And so again, in Texas though, it's tricky because it gets so warm so fast there.
I watched your short where you were harvesting the monster onions. I'm like, man.
Man,
it's but the nice thing is where you have a little bit more of a spring season, I think, than I do. Like it literally goes from freezing here to hot. So I have a lot of trouble with those spring and fall stuff. I can cheat it a little bit with row covers and starting them indoors. Mine is late season. There's a lot of late season potato varieties that I would love to grow, like russets and things like that. And I just don't have the long enough cool season. I've tried growing late season potatoes, and they just really struggle because it gets so hot here. So I stick to mainly early and mid season varieties.
Yeah. And we're talking about those seed snails earlier and everything.
Please don't come to my neck.
No. I really think like onions would be, if I'm going to try them, I want to try the seed snails, and I would do onions with them because of what you were mentioning earlier too, is that, you can rip and tear those and roots and all that sort of stuff. They can handle that. So I think it would be.
That's one that I absolutely think would be great for seed snails. That one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see here. I know we got some questions in here as well, too. Serena was asking, has anyone ever grown celeriac? Have you grown celeriac? You haven't grown celery or celeriac, huh?
Nope.
No. Yeah, I grew it. I had a neighbor give me some and all of that, too. But I didn't do any. I just kind of let them grow, and I didn't really do anything with them, I hate to say. But I did do it once. Did try them once. All right, let's see here.
There's so many things I've never heard of until I started gardening. I've never heard of celeriac.
I don't know that I've ever ate that either.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know.
I've never heard
Well,
of it.
I feel kind of embarrassed asking, but I don't know what it is.
Is it the one that's? Oh no, I'm
you
thinking
grow
of
it more for like either the bulb or root that it kind of grows and stuff as well. I'd have to look that one up for sure, but
I'm thinking of kohlrabi. I think.
But
I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, like similar to kohlrabi. Yeah, it has
Okay.
this kind of bulb
Yeah.
versus, what you're gonna get on top. Although, the kohlrabi greens are good too, but you're growing it for that kind of bulb or root or whatever that it's got.
Okay.
I believe. Like I said, I just had someone give me some, and I thought, oh, this would be fun. Throw them in the garden, and then I didn't really look back at them at all. So
So
sometimes
Jessica,
that happens.
sorry. Oh, Jessica,
Okay.
you mentioned that you grow eggplant not because you enjoy eating it, but because you want to show people how it's done and educate others, beginner gardeners, on how to grow eggplant. Chad, do you have anything that you don't consume but you grow just for educational purposes?
Probably 80% of what I grow.
That's awesome.
I love to, like, one of my earliest memories is being in the backyard when I'm 5 in Kentucky with my grandma, and she is harvesting beans and cucumbers. And my grandfather happened to catch it. I got the tape. I made it digital, and I put it in a bunch of my videos to show that when you start kids off early, it might take 30 years, but that seed is in there. They remember your joy of picking that cucumber. I mean, she was so happy. And I just went totally squirrel. You just got me back in Kentucky at 5. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
What a great memory, right? Huh? We'd all rather be back there, right?
It's so important, I think, to get kids, and that's another part of my channel. Is I love to I push that. Get your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors' kids, your kids from church, whatever. Get them from in front of this. And get dirt in their nails and let them see how excited that you are. Give them a plant, which the single seed challenge is perfect for. Have them pick out the plant.
Even get them involved.
Let them take care of it. Let them grow it. Watch their face. I don't know what your question was. I'm so sorry. I just love gardening.
First of all, it's so true. It's so important. Kids are the future generation, right? And so it's important to kind of get them back in touch with nature, because I feel like as the generations go on, we're so far removed from it, right? That it's up to us to kind of bridge that gap and reconnect. So I love that you said that. What are some things that you grow just for educational purposes that you don't really consume or that you don't like?
Okay, so she said eggplants. I love eggplants. I hated them. The first time I made one, that normal one you get from the store, that ugly black one that you got to get that nasty garbage out of for an hour of salting it, that one sucked. Get a Casper eggplant. The white ones are so good. Mellow. Throw them in the oven, some oil, some salt. Oh my, so good. The Satsumas are super good too. I grew something last year because I saw it in the Baker Creek catalog. It's called a giant bullet head wax melon. It's from China, right? And it's funny you said, hey, when you plant something, you forget about it, you baby it. Y'all, I planted the thing in March, thought it was dead because it was hidden by all the loofah. And I go out there and I'm checking the loofah and I look up and there's a 30-pound melon growing right here above my head. I got a video on the thing. And that was the small one. I harvested another one like 2 months later and it was 40 pounds, 39 pounds or something.
Congrats.
That's
Awesome.
Wow.
Y'all, I didn't know what to do with it. I had to research it. I couldn't believe the doggone thing grew. But I think that's an example of, don't get stuck to what we always grow. Like if you see it in the grocery store, yeah, you're used to it, right? But challenge yourself. That's why I love Baker Creek. They have such a variety of things.
Yeah.
Or the snake bean. Have y'all ever even heard of that? The texture is like a snake, but it tastes like a cucumber. It is phenomenal. Like,
never heard of that.
There's so much in nature.
They've got some really cool varieties.
And eggplants, tell everyone they got thorns, because I found that out the hard way.
They do.
I found that the hard way as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for like a mild eggplant, I just recently grew little finger eggplant. Those are really, really good. They're more of a mini version.
I've tried to grow those. Yeah.
You don't like them?
I haven't been able to get them to grow.
Oh, they're really delicious. They're almost like sweeter than the regular ones from the store, and they're more mini versions. So yeah, they're
All right, I'll have to try again.
Yeah.
I
I'm with you, Jessica, though, too. It's the same one for me as eggplant, and it's not, I love to grow it because, again, it's similar to like why I like growing peppers. It's just the cool little varieties, the cool fruits, the way they look. The plants themselves are just really cool. The big leaves, like you said, Chad, those darn thorns that you don't think about every time you start reaching in there and everything too. They can get you.
The
And the
neighbors,
flowers are just really
They're
spectacular.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts of the eggplant.
I'm growing. If I do grow them again, it'll also be as a trap crop because it attracted every flea beetle and aphid in my garden. So
Oh, really?
yes,
Oh.
and so the flea beetles. It could have just been the variety, but my dad loves eggplant, so if I grow them, they go to him. So
Chad, I've got to ask you. You said you're really into peppers. Have you grown? Because I grew this pepper plant last year for the first time, and it probably brought me the most joy that any plant has brought me thus far. The Chinese 5-color pepper plant. Have you ever tried that one?
I'm growing right now.
Oh yeah.
What growth stage are you at? What colors you got growing on?
Well, they're about that tall right now, but tomorrow they might be dead because they're outside. But I think I posted a picture today on Instagram of the colors. The leaves are gorgeous.
They are.
Like,
it's just a breathtaking plant. It's a wonderful plant. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
My favorite vegetable flower are okra. Love them.
Okras are
so
cool,
doggone
aren't they?
beautiful, and it doesn't matter what
Just the way they
variety,
kind of
all they
open up like
Yeah.
that are just awesome, huh?
I've actually
They're
never
so
seen an
beautiful.
okra flower.
Oh, they almost look like a hibiscus almost. Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
yeah.
And they're
Yeah,
so
exactly.
gorgeous. I love them.
I have to say I agree about the Chinese 5-color. That's one I grow. Again, it's got some pretty good heat to it and everything, but I love it as like an ornamental for the garden, just because once it's in full bloom and fully growing, how each of the different stages of the pepper maturing gives it a different color. So they have, it just looks like a little like pepper Christmas tree in your garden,
It
these
does.
little Christmas lights everywhere.
I'm gonna
It's
have
really
to share
neat.
my chili oil recipe with you, Enoch, if you're growing that, because it's I've got a good recipe for Chinese 5-color pepper chili oil. It's really good.
Sounds great for sure. All right, excellent.
We got a bunch of people in the chat that enjoy eggplant prepared all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
I know, and I really, and also Natalie, you did your cooking a while back ago with that eggplant that you harvested and everything. And ever since I saw that too, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to try that because it looks so darn good.
Those are the little finger ones. So it's an Asian variety, and they're like I said, they're mini, they're long, they're narrow, and they're sweet. So they're more tender, I think, than the Black Beauty eggplant, which is the standard one that you get from the store, which I don't love. Those are good maybe for roasting. You can make a dip out of them or something, but I don't. I'm with you on that one, Chad.
Right in the trash.
But maybe not in the trash. We can use it for something, but you can use it for your
when I did grow them, I'd give them more.
Yeah. I do I just saw a comment that I was trying to think of that. I was like, my dad makes this dish that I really, really like, and I couldn't think of the name. And then somebody said it. It's baba ganoush. So I do like baba ganoush.
Oh yeah.
So I will eat that. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. It's
I've only heard that name. I've never seen or tried it before.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, you roast the eggplant, and I think you whip it with a mayo and season it. It's so good. It's really good. Or even marinated. Marinated eggplant is
Well, I didn't know the first time I tried to make eggplant parm, I didn't know you had to you had to prep and get all that nastiness out of it. So when I first made it, I was like, what? And I did a video on it, and I'm like, oh my, I'm never eating eggplant again. And I did research, which I should have done the first time. But hey, again, I like to show everything. I don't care. I don't care.
Are you talking about salting it and kind of like letting it sweat and drawing out? Yeah. So I did the same thing. I did a cooking video, and I did that, but I didn't do it long enough, right? I guess depending on the variety, it holds quite a bit of moisture, and then the breading just falls right off.
Yeah, that's one of those ones.
and it was
I used to work at an Italian restaurant back when I was a teenager, and I remember having to do the eggplant parms there too. So, so they were. It was really good. I remember they were really good and everything. But I think that's the only thing. I mean, there's so many things you could do with eggplant besides that, and I know that's the one thing that comes up all the time when you mention it is the eggplant parm. But I want to try some other things too. Give it a shot, right? And that's another fun thing too, though, is, you know, when you're in the garden is also growing some things that, you know, I talk about this a lot too on the show. I was a picky eater as a kid. Like there was so many things I wasn't touching or eating, you know, when I was a kid. And it wasn't until later on in life and gardening and growing some of this sort of stuff that I found like, wait a minute, why was I so picky about that? This is delicious. You know what I mean? So there's probably some things that maybe you haven't tried or something you didn't like when you were younger that maybe you should try growing in the garden and give it a shot again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, every 7 years your taste buds change. I'm telling you.
I hear that. Is that really true?
Onion,
Yeah.
I can eat onion. Like,
I don't know if it's true, but it changes if you buy something. If you're used to purchasing something from the store,
Yeah.
and you don't like it, and then you grow it yourself, you may end up liking it because it offers a different flavor and also that personal reward, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I do a thing on my channel. I always wanted to do something where it was like, what do I call something, a video where I grow something and then try it, because I've never tried it. So I just came up with I didn't want to be
cut you off. What was it again? You called it again, what?
Harvest and taste. So I harvest it and I take it straight in the kitchen and I try it. Sometimes raw, sometimes I prepare, whatever, you know, just again, having fun. And it's always something I've never tried.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what you're saying. Like when okay, so my buddy Dale over on Old Southern Kitchen and Garden here on YouTube, he always jokes with me because I'll say, yeah, I grew this, I'm going to try it, but I really hate it. Like, I don't eat these things. Tomatoes are something I did not like. I mean, I'd eat them, but I didn't like them. As soon as you grow one, the taste is so different. Like, man, forget the store-bought garbage.
Yeah.
Grow your own stuff. You will change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's something else, y'all.
Isn't that one, like, you know, especially for beginning gardeners as well, too, right? Isn't this just such a wonderful discovery as you're just starting gardening and just learning about things? Is just the amount of variety there is between different types of things, you know, the amount of varieties of tomatoes, the amount of varieties of peppers, the cucumbers, all these different things that, you know, we're just used to like one type of, you know, thing that we get at the store because it stores well and ships well and, you know, and that sort of thing. And usually in that case, it doesn't taste just as like what you can get when you just grow things yourself. It really is one of the biggest benefits of growing your own food.
I also think that there's, like you were saying, that there is a connection to your food. Like if you grow something from a seed and now you're harvesting 30 tomatoes, like tell me that's not a connection. I mean, you know it's in your soil. You know what you've put in. You know all the time out there watering and looking for bugs. I mean,
and to that point, it changes the way you eat and consume your food, right? When you're consuming it, you're consuming it with more mindfulness. How does it taste? What's the texture like? Because you grew it yourself and you're more mindful and observant of every component of that harvest or whatever it is that you're enjoying. And so, you know, when you buy from the store, you get home, you wash it, you eat it, and you move on with your life. So it's like you said, it's a connection, and that's the best part for me, at least, about growing your own food.
And I think too, people are like, oh my gosh, but it costs you $50 to grow that tomato plant. And I'm like, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But just come over to the green side and we'll show you.
Yes, but also, like, it's not just about what that fruit costs. Like I used to be a nurse, and I've seen what long-term like poor eating habits and things can lead to, you know, and working with master gardeners, and the majority of them are retirees. You know, I would say overall, they are much healthier people because they're in a community. They're getting that mental stimulation, but they're also outside, you know, they're outside, they're working the dirt. And I tell people the minute that you take that fruit off of that plant or that vegetable off that plant, it starts to lose nutritional content. So if you can literally take that from the plant to your kitchen, to your table, you cannot get a higher nutritional content than that. If it's in the store, even if it's grown locally, it has to be shipped. It has to be slightly stored. So the nutritional value starts to drop. So having things literally from garden to table is the highest nutritional content you can get in produce.
Yeah. I'll also add to all of this too, kind of taking it back to Chad's memory there and everything too, is also in my experience as a young kid being so picky eating and all that sort of stuff, getting your kids out there to grow stuff with you and to participate in the growing process with you is also going to inspire them to not be such picky eaters like I was. I didn't have that experience in the garden like that growing up. So it's probably a big reason why when I saw things on my plate, I was like, I don't know. But you get the kids out there with you growing and you start getting them involved and them picking the fruits and doing all that sort of stuff. They're going to be excited about what's on their plate, right?
They are until they hit teenagers. I have 3 teenagers. So.
Okay. Yep. Real mom experience here, right?
they actually do. They think it's cool. Part of it is, I'll be honest, part of it is me, because the garden is like my happy place. That's like my place. That's my work now. And they do, and I keep them actually off camera because they don't want to be on it, and I respect their privacy. But it's also kind of my thing, so it's fun. But they think it's cool, and my sons, I will hire them to work in the garden. Some summers I'm like, you can go get a job, or I'll, you can come help me for, as a part-time thing. So I, if anything, even if they say they don't like it or they kind of, roll their eyes, they at least know how these things are grown. They have visuals in the backyard that they can see. They see where the stuff is grown. They see how much work goes into actually growing these things. And it's just, and I love the security, the food security of it. At any given point, we can go in the backyard and have something to eat. So, yeah.
And I do have to say, I mean, both of you do a great job at making gardening look cool, and you make it look fun and cool, and it makes me want to go and get out in my garden. So both very inspiring, which is why I'm sure your kids, Jessica, are, gravitate towards the garden too, which is kind of cool.
All right. Yeah. Well, here we are. I mean, wow. Such a great, fun conversation. The time just flies by just like that. And wow, this could keep talking to you guys all night about all this sort of stuff. That's what makes doing these live streams so much fun. But I really appreciate you two taking the time to be here with us for our show, The Green Room here. And before we do let you go, though, too, let's give you one more opportunity here to kind of introduce yourself or say goodbye to everybody. Let everybody know about your channels. Let us know about something you got coming up or anything as well, too. And we'll get started there with Jessica.
Thanks so much for having me again. My name's Jessica. My channel is From Dream to Seed. I am a suburban gardener in Southern Indiana, on the border of 6B and 7A. And my channel is geared towards beginner gardeners. And so I'm going to be exploring actually a lot more into that beginner gardener world this year, breaking it down even more basic.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I don't know why I was nervous. This was great. Like, this was fantastic. I could keep going. This was great. Sorry, I'm Chad from Down Home Backyard Gardening.
We'll have to have you back, both of you, for sure.
Yeah, anytime. Zone 9A. What do I have coming up? I'm starting a new. How do I say? I put out a lot of content. One of the questions was, how do I justify all of it? It's a passion. Like, I love doing it. And yes, it takes a lot of time, but you know what? I'm in this to uplift, encourage, and support people. I'm not in it to get rich or any of that kind of craziness. It's to have fun, to do things like this, and to show the joy of gardening. Because yes, you've got pitfalls, but you've got so many ups. And if you can get one more person to grow something, then why not? Like, I don't know. What am I starting? I'm starting a Friend of Foe series. I'm going to do for 2 months, 2 videos, real short videos each Tuesday, where I'm going to, hey, is a ladybug a friend or a foe? Or aphid's a friend or a foe? So they're going to be short. They're kind of geared toward beginner gardeners, but you could also have a teacher show them in your classroom to teach. So again, getting those kids involved is so important to me. So
love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, excellent. And again,
I was gonna say the conversation always feels so short when it's a group of gardeners or plant enthusiasts getting together. I feel like there's so much to talk about, and the conversation just can keep on going. So thank you both so much for joining us and having a great conversation with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to everyone who came out into the chat boxes, the chat room. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't the chat great? I mean, I just love this.
was
Probably one
hard.
of the most fun part of the show is watching everybody else have their conversation on the side there as well, too.
Yeah, and I also just have to say, because both of you said, you're all about sharing everything, the good and the bad as well. And that's not necessarily an easy thing to do, especially when you're on YouTube or facing an audience of people. So thank you for what you do for the community, because a lot of people learn a lot of valuable lessons that they wouldn't learn anywhere else. So that's really inspirational.
You're gonna learn more by failing, y'all.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And some people don't get to see that, so it's very cool that you both put yourselves out there and share it all.
That's right.
yeah.
Embrace them as learning opportunities. That's for sure. Exactly. And again, thank you guys for being with us today. And I will definitely have to have you back for some more conversations here on the Green Room. But just wonderful conversation. Lots of great advice for everybody. So again, everyone, if you're tuning in right now and you haven't had a chance to yet, there are links right down in the description there. So you can go follow Jessica over at From Dream to Seed and Chad over at Down Home Backyard Gardening. And go check out some of those really fun collaboration videos, the coast to coast and all of that. Go join in the One Seed Challenge, all that sort of stuff in the links below. All right. We'll see you all here in just a little bit.
Thanks.
Good.
Bye.
Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals, and our incredible feature visits.
So, all right. How about that? Another fun show. We're just having so much fun over here, aren't we?
Always a great show. And I love chatting with all kinds of gardeners. It's so nice to connect and to learn what other people are doing and what they're learning and inspiring others to do. I love it.
Yeah. I also love a good baseball analogy. And I think every week so far, we've been hitting it out of the ballpark. With these guests that we have, right? These guests we have are just home runs every single week, isn't it?
Every single week. Yeah, it's been really wonderful and a great experience just to, like I said, connect with new gardeners that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So always a good time in the green room.
That's right. Awesome. Excellent. So let's go ahead and run through here real quick as we're, again, having such a fun conversation. I lose track of the timing when it comes down here. I got our good friend Jay, as we mentioned, in the back. She's our backroom producer. She's even at her watch at me like, hey, you got the time. And I know I'm forgetting.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Let's let everybody know here.
I can keep going. Even, was it last week? Or I think it was last week. We kept going. I mean, after the show, right? We still sometimes stick around and talk to the guests because the conversation just keeps going.
Yeah, it does. You don't want to stop. That's for sure. And that's what makes doing this so much fun, and everybody, and having every one of you as well in the audience here with us as well. Like our guests were saying, it's just really fun to watch you all have your conversation along with us and everything too. You really make this show really special. So again, thank you everybody for being here with us today.
Yeah, and for all of the great questions in the chat too.
Yes. And I'm sorry if we didn't get to every one of them. I know there was a ton of other questions that we just didn't get to and stuff. And again, I love having such a great audience, but it's kind of a bummer we can't get to all of the questions. We really wish we could.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of the show and contributing those questions and everything too. So definitely. Also, just want to mention too here before we get going, again, we are here. We are your 3-day gardening weekend here on the Let's Get Growing show. So we got some shows coming up for you this next weekend. That's right. We'll be back at it here on Saturday for a regular Let's Get Growing show. And this week we've got joining with us Grant Meekhorst. The Gardening Grant will be joining with us here this next Saturday. Really excited. He's been on the show before, does some really fun gardening content and grows flowers primarily, but he does some other gardening stuff like that. We've had him on the show once before, but I'm really looking forward to digging in with him and see what he's got growing and coming up here in 2026.
Yeah, he's funny. I've been following him for a while.
Yeah, he is really funny. I love gardeners who can really bring some humor to their gardening content, right? And he does such a great job with it. Really looking forward to seeing him this next Saturday. So you want to come and join with us then, as well as our Sunday edition of the show. On the Sunday edition this next weekend, we're going to have back on the show with us as we get them around regularly every couple of months. We get our good friends Christopher Bransdahl joining us from the mountains of Norway, and from the Lone Star State of Texas, we have King Star joining with us. He's the founder of the Pepper Lover Community. So if you want to talk a little bit more about growing some peppers or indoor gardening and all of that as well too, hydroponics, all that sort of stuff, these guys do some really awesome stuff with their growing spaces. So you'll want to come and check out next Sunday edition of the show. And then, of course, we're back at it again, Natalie, next Monday night for another green room. Next Monday night, we're going to have joining with us our good friend Mark Mache Colbert. He's our co-host for our book club. He's going to be joining with us next Monday evening, along with Craig LaHoulier, who is the author of here, and I've got it with me here. I don't know if you've seen this book on the bookshelf, but he wrote this book called Epic Tomatoes. This is a really, really popular book on tomato growing and everything too. And he's just a great conversation all about tomatoes, all about other gardening stuff too. So you're definitely going to want to come and join with us next
I'm excited about that
Monday evening. Talk some tomatoes with these guys for sure. But yeah, we got lots going on coming up here on the Let's Get Growing show. What you got coming up this week? I know you're dealing with some trouble in the grow tent, so you're probably going to be taking us along with that.
To be determined. We'll see. Are we going to fight against it, or are we going to surrender? I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. I gotta make some decisions and sleep on it, and just kind of think and do a little bit more investigation tonight. So this coming week, you know what? In the garden, you can have a plan, but you also have to accept that you may not necessarily stick to that plan. You always have to be ready to pivot, and that's where I'm at right now, on the edge of
which way and how hard do you pivot, right?
Exactly.
What's really going on here?
How much energy do you give to something, right? And so it's kind of just, it's going to be one of those weeks for me. We'll see what happens. But everything.
It's the challenge of growing in that type of style, though, right?
In any type of style, pests aren't exclusive to indoors. Unfortunately, it's with outdoors as well, and it's just something.
But I think, again, too, but for you in that space, in that confined space, it really can mean like the whole thing, right? At
absolutely.
Some points,
and that's the devastating part, right? Is if it
starting
does get
over
to that point,
and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, we all put our heart and souls into our garden, and it's always upsetting when things go awry. So let's hope that's not the case. But you know what? The garden will always be there. We've always got seeds. We can always start again, and plants always want to grow. So there's that.
Right. Yeah, and sometimes the starting over can be fun, and see what you can do this time around, and work through as we're talking about these lessons or failures. There's just opportunities for us to, discover new things and try new things, and So hopefully everything goes well. So everybody, make sure you're clicking the link down below. Go check out the Fresh Princess on her daily live streams, and again too, check out all those links down below too for our guests. Definitely go and show them some support. Go check out one of their one of their videos or posts, let them know that you saw them here on the green room with us. And also, too, I will remind everybody before I head out here real quick, Katrina from Tare, our contributor for Grow What You Eat, she's live right now. I've got a link in our description. So how fun would it be if y'all or still want some more live streaming? Go click that link, go hop over there and go say hi to Katrina over on her live stream right after the show here. All right, Natalie, I guess we're going to have to.
Another great show. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone in the audience, in the chat, all of you replay viewers. And thank you to Chad and Jessica and Katrina for yet another great episode of The Green Room. Thank you.
Yep. Can't wait till the next one. And we'll see all of you then.
Power out.